By Darren Stone.
Hi, I'm Darren Stone. I'm a senior here at Vista. My question is, if elected, how would you balance funding between administration and academic departments?
I think that's a great question. This district in the last year, school year 2011 versus 2012 versus back to 2008 and 2009 has increased the administration by 10%. At the same time, teachers are being cut, class sizes are being enlarged, instructional time is being lowered, some of our test results are slipping. So I think what you really have to do is gauge what you need in a school first to be successful. And so there are ratios to work out the staffing formula for the principal, how many APs you need, the athletic director that you need, and so forth. And those questions need to be answered first. So we need to put the right number of administration in the schools first, and then we'd work with the central office administration piece second.
Well, in fact, Bill has his numbers wrong again. Over the last 4 years, we've reduced $2 million in administrative costs. We've reduced 20 FTE out of the central administration. Among those FTEs, we reduced our Bill's old department, which we found to have an extraordinarily high number of FTE, human resources. We went in and we reduced that department, and it's running very effectively. So effectively that the turnover rate for us over the past few years is significantly lower than the turnover rate when Bill was running the HR department. We also went in and stopped sending money outside of the school district to pay union leadership that did no work in the classroom, no work in the district, but were taking $300,000 a year out of the district just to organize a union. Instead of paying them, we decided that we were going to go ahead and put that money into the classroom. So what we are looking at doing is squeezing down our administrative costs as much as possible, and frankly, site-based budgeting, true site-based budgeting helps us do that. It helps us because we can put the money to the schools can then go ahead and determine how that they're going to spend it. We don't have to make those decisions. So I don't want to tell you what I'm going to do. What we're going to do is continue to do what we are doing, which is reducing central overhead and putting money into the schools.
Doug has mentioned before the turnover rate compared to when I was the assistant superintendent of HR, and it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10-12%, which if you compare it district to district is about the same. Numbers can tell you anything. I'm more interested in the people who left. And when you lose over 30 of your teachers at one high school, you lose the principal, you lose the APs, something's not right. We have lost 2/3 of the elementary principals in this district in 3 years. You lose leadership consistency when you have that kind of turnover. And you don't need me to tell you about the turnover that's going on in your own classes and in this high school, about the teachers that you've lost, or as you've heard from the TEL survey, teachers are thinking about leaving 18 times more than teachers who answered the same survey in Cherry Creek. It's interesting to me that Doug wants to talk about what's going on now compared to then, and yet we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to introduce emergenetics into this school district, which is a profiling questionnaire, versus putting money back into the classroom. We're paying $50,000 or more for outside consultants to come speak for a morning. Why don't we put that money back in the classroom?
Well, first, the $50,000 wasn't school district money. It was private money donated for that purpose, so it wasn't classroom money, Bill, and I think you know that. Second, you walk around the question of the turnover rate when you were responsible for retention at the district and while we were responsible, but you always forget the fact. Yours was higher. More teachers were leaving under your watch than were leaving under our watch. We have a higher satisfaction rate under the TEL survey. Yes, satisfaction of teachers in the school. which is actually where we want them to be satisfied. You may want them to be satisfied with you as a board member. I want them to be satisfied in the classroom. We're in fact putting more money back into the classroom as a percentage of the education dollar than was put in there 4 years ago. In fact, we are doing a better job of managing our finances. We're doing a better job of managing the teachers in terms of keeping them satisfied and in terms of keeping them retained. And a lot of that is because we actually have a true pay-for-performance system. And that pay-for-performance system is paying those excellent teachers to stay. Our turnover rate among our highly effective teachers was 1.5%, 2% from what I understand. I think that's great. That's who we want to stay, that's who we're trying to attract, and that's what our system is designed to do. And in fact, we're doing better than any other district around us in that regard. Thank you.
Audience, I would like to remind you, please, no comments.